Hello, hello. Welcome to the Learn From Us podcast. Thanks for joining us. My name is Seth Kirchanen. This is Paul Gabriel. And of course, we're joined by the illustrious and infamous Andrew Striegel.
I'm always excited to hear the adjective of the week.
I do call you something.
I'll take both of those.
I do call you something different every time.
He owns a thesaurus.
It is sick week here at Learn From Us.
Yeah, Andrew over here. Jeez. Seth over here.
You're going to get some sniffling. You're going to get some stuffiness.
This is beautiful. The show must go on, damn it. And that's why we're here for you people out there, so you can learn from us. Today, as always, we're bringing another deal of the week.
Do we have an intro for Deal of the Week yet?
Dun, 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 dun. Deal of the week. There it is.
Superman comes in with a deal. Is that what it is?
I just came up with that little
Very
jingle.
showy. I liked
So,
Aren't you both you guys learning the guitar?
Tim, will you trademark
Something
that
like
quick?
that. Seth already knew a little guitar ahead of time.
So that's homework for you guys tonight is to come up with a jingle.
Would that be funny if we did do that?
A custom
Basketball and poker are canceled.
custom-made deal of the week jingle. I will get on. I'll do something. Andrew, tell us about this lovely shirt you're wearing. No, I'm kidding. Tell us about the deal that you have. What city are we in today?
All right, we're in the northern area of Cincinnati.
Near Mason?
Not that far north.
Oh.
Tell us about it.
It's kind of, I'll call it outside the loop. Mason's pretty far north, going northeast. But
Paul
this
goes
is
to
a,
Mason to go to Great Wolf Lodge by himself.
Is there a Great
Swimming.
Wolf Lodge there?
There is.
Oh.
And it's just really awkward when a
Call
grown
his
man
weekend's booked.
when a grown man's running around with the children on the slides.
Pause.
All right, tell.
Tag, you're it.
I didn't know we were playing a game.
He prefers the underleg freeze tag. My kids play it. It's
I
good,
actually
clean fun.
go to Mason for the tennis tournament there.
Oh, I would love to go with you.
It's a great event. It's a
I
great
drove
good
past
shift.
it last time, and yeah. Anyway, keep going, Andrew.
Brick building, flat roof, old early 1900s, if not 1900.
There's lead and
boil-
asbestos in this place. Then asbestos.
I'm not going to make any assumptions.
Okay.
And tomorrow they're putting in asbestos. That's from Seinfeld.
I was going to guess that.
Okay, go, Andrew.
How many units, Andrew?
4 units.
4 units.
This is a
A
good
small
starter
guy,
project for someone
yeah.
like me, or
Here, take a look, Paul. Pictures tell 1,000 words, and you can describe them when you're looking at them.
yeah, do that, Paul.
It needs to be painted like ASAP.
It's brick, folks.
I'm big on the whole painting brick now because I think it's brick is kind of
White.
First off, what is this guy's name who's listing this property?
Well, remember, we're not using names.
I know, but I'm just
You have to make up one now.
yeah.
Let me see. His name is Chester Leibowitz. There you go.
Of the Cincinnati Leibowitzes. Okay, there's garbage.
4 units.
Hey, look.
Yeah,
here's
so
another-
4 units, brick building. The reason why
So I know
Paul is
how I
saying-
can lead this. Hold on, I'll just cut you right off.
Hit me.
What's the 2-bedroom to 1-bedroom?
All 4 one-bedrooms.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
I don't like that as much, but that's okay.
How's parking?
Yeah, how is parking? God.
Seth, just
Someone's been
on
taking notes.
fire today.
Go back to our first podcast and listen how foolish I sound about all of this stuff. I'm like, wait. Okay. So, yeah, how's parking, Paul? I know we're, if we want.
Hey, numbnuts. There's a sale price on here.
Oops.
And that's deal of the week.
The whole point of Deal of the Week is I guessed the sale price, and you did not block the sale price.
It was on like 4 other pages. I found them all, I swear.
Pretend you didn't see that.
Okay, I'll pretend I did not
Just
see.
talk out loud what you do and don't like about this building.
If I were to guess, I'd say $156,900 is the ask price.
That's aggressive.
Okay, so I just don't like the look of the exterior. Ooh, the back. It's just
So-
an ugly property.
And I think one of the reasons that we're bringing this in, like Seth started, it's a good starter building from a sense of, Paul, you said the price
These are
was,
the interior pictures they picked.
yeah, those are the best ones they had.
Let me describe.
Please do, Seth. You're much better at
okay.
adjectives than I.
What do you
There's,
got?
there's a bedroom, must be a master. It's got like tattered sort of blankets thrown all over it, and then someone has taken drapes and sort of stapled them around the windows.
By the way, I do like when someone describes a 1-bedroom apartment as the master.
And over here on the right, you have the master bedroom, as opposed to.
Yeah. Okay. There's tile in the kitchen. It's very old. There's wainscoting that's that old, like, grandpa sort of oaky finish.
That doesn't bother me. That can easily be painted.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm sort of the bathroom has a checkered floor, lots of old tile.
So, Paul, the reason it caught my attention, you're looking at 4 units, $150,000. How many people have the ability to go out and get a mortgage for a $150,000 property?
A lot of people do.
Correct. And that's something where I think a lot of people are going to get excited because they see the price tag as something where they go, oh, that's affordable.
Yes.
I should jump into it.
Tell me about the rents.
A1A.
Paul's going to get to it in a second.
I'm looking for it. All I see is the same picture over and over.
Near the very end.
Jesus.
But they've got, I think, 2 units running in the high 4s and 2 units at like $579, I think the number is. So.
Yeah, so for the year, they have average rents $525.
Correct.
Okay.
Between the 2 styles. So, but they're
Correct.
calling market rent $579 for all 4. So kind of essentially 2 old tenants in the 400s. And 2 newer tenants that they got for $579.
Okay, well, I'll give them credit for something.
that credit didn't last too long, did it?
They did a good job with property insurance. They did a good job with water, sewer, trash.
What do you mean good job? They're just telling
So
the right numbers?
they underwrote $284 a unit for property insurance. Usually we see people go, oh, it's like $120. It's like it's not going to be $120.
Okay.
Water, sewer, trash seems very high at $1,250 per unit. That's a very high water, sewer, and trash bill.
Water, sewer, and trash.
It's high, but remember, if you're on a boiler, you're also using more water because of the boiler.
It doesn't matter. We had boilers in Shaker, and they weren't even $500, $600 a unit.
Water, sewer, and gas at $1,200.
No, water, sewer, trash.
Oh, water, sewer, trash. Okay.
Not even gas and electric's next. That's $400 a unit.
Okay, these
Which
are
seems
high
very
numbers.
low.
Low, you said?
For gas and electric, $393. Yeah, but the water sewer seems high.
Okay.
Are you sure that's not inverted?
I was inverted. What movie?
I was inverted.
Top Gun.
Oh, I've never seen the Top Gun.
I'm not into it. Some people are like live by this.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
Keep going.
Repairs and maintenance, $120 per unit. That is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
Ever?
No.
So, Paul, you were talking about gas. When to go back to it, you said, "Hey, I think these might be inverted." They've got gas and electric at $1,500 for the building, water, sewer, trash at $5,000. And when you're looking at it, think of your heating bills, right? So, even a 1-bedroom apartment, what would you say your heating bill is for a month in the winter?
$70 to $100.
Okay, so if that's 100, you got 4 units. That's $400 a month, right there, right? In Ohio, we have how many heating months? 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're already low. I mean, I think that's low.
Oh, I see.
I still think that's low.
And they've got $1,500, including common electric.
Let's talk about all the expenses that are not in here. Management fee. Now they're going to sit there and say, well, it's a 4 unit. You can manage it yourself. Got it. And by the way, for somebody who wants to get in and just have 4, 10, 20 units they manage themselves, fine. It's not the right way to do it, but I get it. Repairs and maintenance. This could be like your father-in-law who does all the repairs and maintenance himself.
Yeah.
So he's not charging for his time, and the materials are very cheap. Advertising. No advertising. Nothing. Okay, fine. Where's capital improvements? That's a flat roof. That's going to go out every 15, 20 years. You got to replace that. I mean, there's just a lot of things.
How much
there.
a flat roof, Paul?
$600 a square yard, which is $6 a square foot. Tear off and put back on, right?
Right. So for building that size,
Well, what size is
fourplex
that
or something
building?
like that. So you got 2,000 square foot roof. I'm estimating.
All right, so that's 20 squares, $12,000.
So $12,000 every.
20 years even.
Okay.
$600 a year.
Right. That you have to be stashing away, because otherwise you're going to get to that year, and let's be honest, when you're buying this building, they didn't put the roof on last year.
Yeah, correct.
So we're not 20 years away.
It could hit you in a couple of years.
Correct.
So they don't have a lot of expenses in here. Their gross expenses are $3,200 a unit. The property tax is estimated. It's $3,100 for the building. Are they estimating that because they're assuming it goes up?
It will go up, and it's going to go up more than that. So I don't know what their estimation is. because
Okay.
you already found that price politely buried in one of those pieces of paper. But so if you're 150,000, I'd say ballpark, I call it 3%, so $4,500 for taxes. So they've got gross expenses of Seth. It's like 12.7,
$12,700.
Okay.
and off the cuff, Paul's throwing out a lot of stuff there.
It's
it's
not
very
there.
easy for that to creep to
14?
1920.
Yeah.
Oh,
1920.
And
a
the
year?
Yes.
So I have to think the rents are very low here. I'm looking at this right now going, the rents have to be very low here because these expenses are what they are. And I have to think there's upside potential in the rents. Because first off, even having a one bedroom with the heat and water and all utilities included for $482, $579, $579, and $462, I gotta think you can get. I mean, I don't know what kind of area this is in.
So a lot of the other buildings, to your point, I went to apartments.com, just say, hey, show me this area, because we're not from Cincinnati. I don't know all the rents off the top of my head. So I went to this area, and there's a lot of one-bedroom apartments going for between $600 to $650, $665.
With all utilities included?
No. Most of those buildings were the 1970s build, which means they have their own furnace, which means they're paying their own heat. So it's not utilities included. So that means you should be able to get, $650 would be the basis, and you're adding back the heat.
So they're saying
The owner of this building's getting kind of double hit because he's not renting for as much as he should be.
total rent a month, $2,100, he says.
Yeah, but again, it's the idea he's not renting enough. He's $525 average,
Yeah.
where you should be $650 if the tenants were paying all their own bills. So the fact that he has to pay all their, again, it goes back to what's the actual gas cost. But if there's $5,000, he should be splitting that up in a monthly cost and adding it back to the tenants on top of the rent.
And then the water sewer can be split off too.
So you're saying he's pulling in 24, almost 25.2 thousand, and he might very well have 19 to 20,000 in management fees.
I'm going to go.
Expenses, all expenses.
Yeah,
Expenses.
all expenses.
That's what I'm saying. The rents are too low. The rents are way too low. So let's say this. I'm going to do some analysis here. Let's say we get $600 a month in rent, and we're going to assume we put the money in to separately meter water, sewer, and put separate furnaces in. Okay? So I'm going to give a rent of $600 a month. 10% vacancy, but now we take the expenses.
So right now, quick time, he's got $579 there, right? So you're bumping $21.
But now I'm also making them pay all the utilities,
Okay.
right? Oh, this is a tough deal.
Well, that's the thing, because there's going to be a cost to it. So that's,
Yeah, it's a tough deal.
What do
You're not gonna
you
go-
mean? What do you mean is?
well, what Paul was saying, the cost of breaking out the water, the cost of adding in furnaces and runs and taking out the boiler and all that kind of stuff, you're not going to burden that expense for $21 a month.
But it's not $21 a month because you're also limiting. When you limit all those expenses, that's like income for you, right? Like if I have a $1,000 item expense, I get rid of it. It's like making $1,000 more.
Sure.
Penny saved is a penny earned. Same thing. In this situation,
But everything has value. What would you put on this?
I think all said and done with separate meters and the higher rent, it's worth $160.
After everything.
Yeah. I think then it's worth $160. So you got to go put 30 grand into it. Plus, I got to think you got to buy this thing for $100 to have some cream in there. If you want to be into it for exactly what it's worth, $120, $125. That's how I feel. Saying, okay, I'm going to be into it for exactly what it's worth. Put some money into it, refinance it, blah, 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 and you'll probably make your 12 to 15% return. But you're going to have less hassle now, hopefully. But I put in higher expenses. I still put $4,000 unit expenses in after the conversion.
And then what about
Might be less than that.
any interior rehabs? Are you doing anything
I'm
with that?
assuming that's
So-
$10,000 in there. Not unit rehabs, just common area and all stuff. Now, I don't want to make a comment because I don't know the area.
Right.
Can it support $750 in rent with somebody paying with the tenant also paying utilities?
I don't think so.
So it's not like a Morrison, Cleveland, and Columbus.
No, I'd say. I guess the issue with that, lots of apartments nearby, and there's not one in the 700s. Not to say you couldn't lead the way.
Yeah.
But it'd be a big jump up, and there's a lot of other options.
All right. I'm still standing by my number. I think it's worth 160 all rehab, all converted over and everything like that, and going. I think to myself, which isn't terrible, because if you want to put 30, 40,000 into it, buy it for 120, and you'll be into it for exactly what it's worth. You want to have a little cream in there, buy it for 100. Is that a big discount? Yeah, but remember, this person's rents are very, very low. I mean, the cost to operate. I mean, it doesn't matter if your rents are $100 a month. Your maintenance and repair is still going to be $500 per year. I mean, it's still going to be up there.
A gallon of paint costs the same,
whether your rent's
$10,000
a month or $100 a month.
Okay.
So that's in taxes. You're not going to be able to get this building reappraised down to $50,000. I mean, you might be able to, but only if you buy it this way. So all these things have to still have an expense attached to it. That's still in today's dollars. Their rents are very low. You can tell somebody probably owned this for a very, very long time, or probably owns it free and clear, and they just accept the rent. As a prime example, in Shaker Square, where we just sold our big portfolio, there were buildings on the north side of the square that we were right next to where their rents were lower than our cost to operate that same unit. So they'd be advertising a one bedroom for $480 per month, which is $5,700 a year. It costs us $6,400 a year to operate the properties. And we're like, how do they do this? Well, they do it like this. They don't put management fees in. They keep the rents real low. They don't put any money into the property, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody's got to pay it down the road at some point. So it better not be you. So it's not terrible. I mean, buying it for $120 to make it work, that's not terrible. Let's say, for example, if you're an HVAC guy who wants to buy a property, this is the perfect property for you.
Because you can add value.
Because you can add value like that for a lot cheaper money.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Right? So if you're an HVAC guy and it costs $20,000 to do this, but you can charge $10,000 because it's your labor and costs, you're going to make a killing off that thing.
You said right off the bat painting this thing would be a good investment.
Yeah.
Really?
Just for curb appeal.
Do you like the way this looks?
No, it looks like a prison.
It looks exactly like a prison. You're right.
Yeah.
So I look at it going, I'm really getting the whole kick. I've seen a lot on Instagram lately of these houses before and after. A lot of brick houses being painted very thick. I love the look. I absolutely love it. We have a property in Columbus that's all brick, and we're trying to get that done this year. We did a small painting 2 times over, on a spray, but I want to get a very thick paint.
That building looks like it hasn't been touched since the 60s on the outside.
Yeah,
the checkered and
for sure. But you paint this all like a light color, it would just pop. Put some trim on there. Paint some areas with trim, with a darker trim. It'd look amazing. It would look great.
So at this price, $156.5, no deal.
156.9. I'm not buying it at 156.9.
And again, I don't think we're necessarily telling anyone to run out there and pay ask price. The
Sure.
idea is figure out the value and offer what it's worth. So again, based on what Paul was saying and going through the numbers, floating in that 100, even going down like 90 to 120, depending on how you're going to operate, who's going to do the work. Do you have anything that you can throw into it?
Well, no. If you're going to operate it the exact same way with those expenses, yeah, you can pay 160.
Well, no, you're not going to operate
But
that
you're not
way.
Gonna, yeah, we're not going to operate that way. And anybody came to me and said, "Hey, I want to do it this way," I'd be like, "Don't talk to me." Then.
We talked about Seth's uncle or someone like that. If they're going to do the leasing and not pay
His
themselves,
father-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, I think it's a good looking building. I haven't seen any common areas in it, but it probably needs some work. I mean, buildings that are not it's not. Whenever somebody has a low maintenance or repair number, my comment is there's going to be way more problems with the building than because if they're being cheap on maintenance or repair, who else? I mean, there's going to be other problems in there. So you got to factor those things in there. I think somebody paying over 120, 125. If you're going to pay over 120, 125, you got to be comfortable being in the property for exactly what it's worth after doing the conversion and raising rent and all that stuff. If you're going to pay more than that, then you better really manage the heck out of that thing yourself and be okay with that and hold it for a good period of time, which is a fine way to go if you want. It's not how we manage because we have costs and we have staff and all that. We have a lot more properties. But if somebody just says, "Hey, I just want to do this 4-unit every 5 years," all right, great, go for it. But I mean, you're going to do a lot of work for it.
But I also sit there and look at one of the sheets in here shows the NOI. It's after the expenses that Paul was referencing.
Yeah.
And it shows $11,000, $11,400. And it's the idea of don't just take the $11,400. Say, hey, I can make $11,400 by putting this much down on the property. It's not because those costs aren't in there, or expenses rather. So the NOI isn't as they say.
Is your wife sending selfies?
Hopefully.
So either way, I think
hopefully they're to me.
this is a good deal to look at. It reminds me a lot of the 4 unit we looked at in Cleveland. It's kind of the same feel and same stuff, but that rent was a lot higher and all that stuff. And
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, for whatever reason, we had rentals at one point, home rentals in Cleveland and Akron, and for whatever reason, you could really get a sense. Akron home rentals were significantly less rent than Cleveland. It's not that it was that far away, but just being in those different markets, we could go to one market, go buy a house for $10,000, fix it up, be into it for $45,000, and we're renting it for $1,000 a month. We go down the street in Akron, we're buying it for the same price, rehabbing it for the same price. They're renting for $650, significantly less.
Yeah.
It's just the market.
that's the way it works.
Thanks everyone for joining us for Deal of the Week. We're going to do a few more of these. We'll have them out this month, right, Tim? And we'll keep this going. We'll get Andrew healthy, myself healthy, and we'll come back at you. Thanks for joining us, as always. Learn from us on YouTube. Learn from us on all the podcasts. iTunes, Spotify,
CNBC, CNN.
CNBC, yes, Nick at Night. We're on the Late Show. We'll be on next week.
Late show.
Yes.
Oh, Webster, and Cohen.
Thanks
Seinfeld.
No.
What?
Webster, and Cohen.
No, I don't
Tell
know.
you what, if anybody knows that line's from, you text me, I'll give you more money.
More money. That implies
Well, we
you get
talked about
some.
the last podcast was if they made it through. Well, we better not tell them.
Oh, don't ruin it.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But yeah, you got to listen in for the Easter eggs, folks. Yeah. All right, thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Paul.
Bye.
Bye.